21. 7 p.m. Fully prepared, I stepped out of the salon and saw Gavin Barrett. He was standing next to a sleek, black Maybach. Unusually, he was dressed in an impeccably tailored blue suit. Combined with his tall, athletic build, he looked strikingly handsome. In the dusk, he seemed to glow. I laughed. We agreed to meet at the restaurant. Have you been waiting here long? It was the first time in years I'd taken such pains with my appearance for a date. I never realized how long it could take: hair, makeup, choosing the perfect outfit. Gavin watched me approach, smiling. Waiting for Ivy Moore is never too long. As he spoke, he opened the car door for me and even raised a hand to shield my head as I got in. After 7 years of taking care of Seth, always being the one to open doors, constantly worrying he might bump his head, I was momentarily taken aback. I turned and looked through the window at Gavin's almost unrealistically perfect profile. My heart did a little flip. The smile on my face grew wider. 22. Gavin took me to a sky-high revolving restaurant. He had booked the entire rooftop. I was still a little confused when all the lights suddenly dimmed. Gavin emerged from a doorway, playing the violin and singing a song by Leo Valentino. His technique was even more flawless than the violinist from last time. His voice was gentle and captivating. Gavin walked toward me, singing. Under the starry sky, I looked at his radiant face and at the prominent display of pink roses on the dining table. I lowered my gaze. I'd hardly ever told anyone that Ivy Moore's favorite flowers were pink roses, or that my favorite song was Leo Valentino's Mercury, the kind of song I could listen to on repeat for a month. Even Seth, after 7 years, hadn't known. When Gavin finished singing and stood before me, I suddenly looked up into his beautiful, almond-shaped eyes. You're the one who's been sending me pink roses for a year? Because our companies were partners, the flowers had kept arriving at my office, rain or shine, despite my instructions to colleagues. Gavin didn't answer directly. Instead, he set down his violin, leaned in, and met my gaze, his beautiful eyes curving into crescents. So, Ivy Moore, for a bouquet of pink roses and a song, would you give me a chance? A chance to pursue you? I looked at him, a smile playing on my lips, and said without hesitation, of course. After all, it's easy to win over a woman like me. 23. On our 100th day together, Gavin and I traveled to 12 different cities, all places I'd wanted to visit but never had because I'd been too busy working to get closer to him. In every city, Gavin captured our best moments and I posted them on social media. To date, I've shared over 50 videos. Our seemingly ordinary coupledom left netizens in awe. The comments were filled with, "Another day, another dose of envy from this feed. Watching other people's happiness is my kind of happiness. I don't even think about it. First, your boyfriend needs to be this handsome and attentive. Don't even dream about it. If my girlfriend were as gorgeous and elegant as this blogger, I'd do anything she asked. Of course, right now I'm just a single guy, not sure why a dude, love watching these romantic videos. LOL, not sure if the person above is human, but they're definitely a real one." While filming my 60th video, a sudden thought struck me. I opened Gavin's music app. I found his reply from over a year ago in the comment section of Mercury. June 8, 2022. This is your Ivy Moore. If someone sent me pink roses and sang me Mercury, I'd marry him on the spot. Too bad he'll never really see me. Your pink roses have arrived, miss. Do you think I might qualify? Please like to help me get noticed, thanks. On June 8th, 2022, my 6th anniversary with Seth, I'd bought pink roses, cooked dinner, and waited for him at home. When Seth walked in and saw everything, he looked at me and sighed. Ivy, remember your place. I warned you not to covet what isn't yours. Have you forgotten? His eyes were cold. Then he turned and walked out. I sat alone all night, tears streaming, and later posted that comment under the song. Now, all I saw was Gavin's bright, clean smile and the unwavering warmth in his eyes when he looked at me. Strangely, I could no longer recall how that night had felt. I was now enveloped in an overwhelming sense of happiness. Watching Gavin cook, I suddenly put down my phone, walked over, grabbed his collar, and pulled him down. In the instant before our breaths mingled, I whispered, "You've liked me for a long time, haven't you? How about I give you the chance to love me for the rest of your life?" No sooner were the words out than my lips were captured by a man with astonishing stamina. Even though I'd initiated it, when I opened my eyes, Gavin's triumphant expression was unmistakable. His voice was tender. "Ivy, for a long time. Longer than you know. Longer than you can probably imagine." As he spoke, he swept me into his arms again. He'd left his phone there for me to see on purpose. And right now, in the courtyard we'd rented, Mercury was playing on a loop. I felt tricked, but it was too late. That afternoon, Gavin Barrett and I each gained a little red marriage certificate. Seth Anderson, Extra. After Ivy left, I remembered something. During our first year together, she'd once given me red roses. I think I said something cutting to her, and then I didn't see her for a whole month. A sharp pain suddenly pierced my heart. For reasons I couldn't explain, the day after Ivy took her extended leave, I told my mother I wouldn't be marrying the heiress. It was as if I was waiting for something. I don't know what I was running from. Nothing significant happened that day. I went abroad again. When I returned, Brad was announcing all over the office that Ivy Moore was married. Walking into my office, Brad handed me Ivy's formal resignation letter. Inside was also the key to the apartment I'd given her. 6 months later, I went back to the place where Ivy and I had lived for 7 years. I thought there might be some changes, but Ivy had left with startling finality, taking nothing, not even the jewelry I'd given her over the years in fleeting attempts to make her happy. At the very bottom of a drawer was an old notebook. Ivy's diary. March 8th, 2015. I had an interview today. The first person I saw when I walked in was Seth Anderson. He was even more handsome and imposing than I remembered. My heart pounded wildly looking at him. But he walked right past without a glance in my direction. I wanted to ask if he remembered me, but his security held me back. I couldn't get close. Seth Anderson. Seth Anderson. June 8th, 2022. Seth said he's not coming back. Seth doesn't like me. I knew that before I became his girlfriend. But that night, when a drunk Seth asked me to be his, I didn't refuse. I stayed by his side for 7 years. 7 quiet, humble years. When he said he wouldn't come back, I wasn't as sad as I'd imagined. Instead, the constant tension inside me suddenly released. A huge weight lifted. I told myself that from now on, I would only be Seth Anderson's assistant. Nothing more. He will never know that I worked for 16 years to stand by his side, to become his Ivy Moore, all because of something he said when we were children. He will also never know the joy and excitement I felt when I first became his. He will never know the secret feelings and silent struggles of the past 7 years. Seth Anderson. My favorite was Seth Anderson.
Goodbye.
Never again. Looking at the worn pages, a distant, hazy memory surfaced. In my childhood, before my family moved, there was always a grubby little girl who would climb over the fence into our yard. Big brother Seth, you're so nice to me. Can I marry you someday? Of course not. My mother says I'm the heir. I can only be with someone whose status matches mine. But if you try really hard, I might consider it.